My cheating wife panicked and started begging for forgiveness, but she left to face the consequences she deserves. I found out about my future ex-wife's affair about 7 months ago. I went through all that heartbreak, denial, suffering, trying to earn her attention, and was in deep depression for a long time. I never confronted her directly, but she must have known I figured it out. I guess she just didn't care. About 2 to 3 months ago, I just got fed up. Fed up with her, fed up with our marriage. I just stopped caring. I completely detached from our relationship and started preparing for divorce and the new life waiting for me. I avoided my wife as much as possible, tried not to be home when she was there. I didn't engage in conversations, answering her questions only with yes, no, maybe, or I don't know. I even left divorce lawyer bills in plain sight. She must have realized I was checked out and getting ready to leave. Even the kids asked me about it, they could see what was happening. I even gave them the speech, "We both love you, this isn't your fault, sometimes adults just can't stay together." My wife was in the room and must have heard me talking to them. She didn't comment or object, and I took her silence as agreement. A few days ago, I ran into a woman I knew from school, before I met my wife. There had always been chemistry between us, and attraction. We used to flirt and touch each other but never crossed the line. Let's call her Monica because, to me, she looks like Monica Bellucci. Monica and her family moved away before I worked up the courage to make a move. I regretted it for a long time, but back then I was young, shy, and stupid. I hadn't thought about Monica in years, hadn't seen her in forever. But the moment we met, the tension between us was palpable, even stronger than before, and the conversation flowed easily. She was the one who invited me out. I explained my situation with my wife. I told her I wanted to be officially divorced before dating anyone. I wasn't going to cheat, even technically. Monica respected that. She gave me her number and told me to call once I'd sorted everything out. She said she'd never been married and was really interested in getting to know me again. I was interested too. That meeting inspired me to finally talk to my wife and officially start the divorce and asset division process. I was actually happy when I got home and sat down to wait for her. I was literally grinning like a madman when I asked her to sit and said we needed to talk. I told her I'd known about her affair for a long time. Said I assumed she realized I knew, especially since I'd been emotionally detached for the last 3 months and she didn't seem to care. So, I told her I wanted to start seeing someone else and move on with my life. I ended with, "Given all that, it's time to divorce." Agreed. Her reaction was nothing like I expected. She started crying, not just crying, but making this desperate, gut-wrenching sound I'd never heard before. She mumbled excuses, begged for a second chance, said the affair meant nothing, that we could fix things with couples therapy, etc. I was stunned. I thought she'd be relieved. I told her she could be with that guy guilt-free. He was clearly more important to her than our family, otherwise, why would she have done it? She had to know this would destroy our marriage. Was she really that stupid? I said if she truly believed we needed to save our family and marriage, the time for that was 7 months ago, before she started cheating. Now it's too late, everything's broken beyond repair. I didn't think we had problems in our marriage. She never talked to me about anything, and I can't read minds, so whatever it was, I never had a chance to fix it. If she started an affair, she must have thought something was seriously wrong, something so bad she couldn't just talk to me about it. It must have been so awful that she was willing to let our kids grow up in a broken home. If not, why do it? I calmly and clearly explained that there's no way to undo what she did with that guy, no way to erase the pain she caused me. That pain is what made me stop caring. Or, more accurately, it made me hate her. I'm just being civil for the sake of co-parenting our kids in the future. I told her I don't believe she ever cared about me. Someone who cares even a little wouldn't inflict this kind of pain, wouldn't betray someone like she betrayed me. Her words about loving me mean nothing, her actions prove otherwise. At that point, she completely lost the ability to speak coherently. I couldn't understand a word she was trying to say. In the end, I had to call her sister because, honestly, I wasn't going to comfort her. Her sister came over, and after I explained the situation, she took her away. I felt an overwhelming relief when they left, like I could finally breathe normally for the first time in 7 months. I don't even know why I'm writing all this. She had to know this would happen. Maybe she even wanted it. She can't possibly be so stupid as to think this behavior, these choices, would lead to anything but divorce and a broken family. She's beautiful, smart, our marriage was great until she started that affair. I've accepted that life changes and already moved on. Now she's pretending she loves me, that she wants us to stay together and save our family. What's her motivation for this drama? What does she gain? Does she seriously think we can fix this? Is that even possible? Is this some kind of plan? But I can't figure it out. I have plenty of evidence of her infidelity, and in my country, I live in Europe, that probably means she won't get alimony. Is that it? Is she afraid I'll expose what she did? Maybe she's trying to guilt me into silence. Her affair partner is married, is she scared I'll tell his wife? I just can't make sense of it. Anyway, I needed to get this off my chest. I hoped writing it down would make things clearer, but no. I'm just as confused as when I started this rant. Update: is my cheating wife driving me insane? First, thank you all for the support. It's been incredible. I couldn't reply to everyone, but I tried to read all the messages. I wrote my first post 3 days after talking to my wife, and I had barely slept. Honestly, I passed out at my computer while reading comments. When I woke up the next day, my face had a keyboard imprint, but my mind was much clearer. I decided to make pros and cons lists for key points. I hung sheets of paper on the wall with headings like, our kids, how to act when meeting my wife, my marriage, Monica, questions for my wife, etc. The final document is too long to describe here, so I'll just cover the main points. My goal was to figure out what principles matter most to me and where to focus. Then I went through each point to assess whether I could achieve meaningful results, and what meaningful even meant in each case. Kids are my top priority. I'll increase my efforts to help them through this. More individual and family therapy. I'll plan trips, spend more time with them, create new memories. I'll also involve other family members to surround them with love and support. I'll talk to their teachers, coaches, anyone who can help. I want their support system immediate and everywhere. I got tested for STDs and scheduled a DNA test for the kids. The thought they might not be mine is uncomfortable, but I have to do this for their sake. If they're not mine, there might be medical history they should know. What if, when they're older, they want to find their biological father? How will they see me if I don't act now? I hope they're mine, but I won't relax until I know for sure. After private talks with their therapists, we sat down with the kids and explained everything openly. We let them ask any questions they had. I kept repeating, you can come to me with anything. I'm your father, I love you more than anything, and I'll always be here for you, no matter what. As for my marriage, I realized I'll never trust my wife again. Without trust, there's no relationship. I also realized I don't love her anymore, not the person she's become. My love for her was once a huge part of me, but she destroyed it with her affair. It completely changed how I see her. Maybe I could learn to love her again, but I'd have to want to, and honestly, I don't. Better to end this and move on. I don't want this marriage, these us dynamics, or her anymore. The part of me that loved her, the part that once felt endless joy just thinking about her, now fills with fear and pain. Any thought of connection with her makes me deeply uncomfortable. Divorce is inevitable, and I want it done as soon as possible. About Monica, we talked a lot. I had doubts based on comments here, maybe jumping into a new relationship isn't wise. I also didn't want to drag her into this mess. My life is chaos right now. She disagreed. She said life is messy by nature, so why not see how we handle it together? I learned why she'd never married. Her fiancé died in a work accident almost 5 years ago. It shattered her, and though she dated since, she never connected deeply with anyone. To her, life's too short not to take chances when real opportunities come. We sat down, and she was shaking uncontrollably. I felt eerily calm. I pitied her pain, but not as a husband would, more like watching an actor's moving performance. It confirmed I don't love her anymore. I waited for her to gather herself enough to speak. She kept trying but kept breaking down. This wasn't an act. I've seen her cry before, but never like this. No one can fake weeks of sobbing. When she finally spoke, it was a flood. Apologies every other word. Surprisingly, she didn't blame me or make excuses. Her sister cried too, scolding her occasionally. Turns out, her sister had warned her this would happen. She'd lost her own fiancé the same way a year ago. I hadn't known. Her sister's infidelity triggered some midlife crisis in my wife. She started fantasizing about cheating. In the end, she did it because she fell for that guy, got swept up, and couldn't stop herself. She never thought I'd find out or that anyone would get hurt, pure selfishness. She claimed she was happy in our marriage but convinced herself she deserved the affair, that if I knew how happy it made her, I'd understand. She told herself it'd pass, and we'd go back to normal. She had no idea I knew, only realized something was wrong when I detached.